Hey everyone, and welcome to this Q&A video. As I'm sure you can tell by the title, this video is just going to be all about our engagement. I can't believe it. I mean, I can, but I still can't. It's just like new and crazy. And yeah, Max is on his way home right now, so he's about to join me and we're gonna talk about our engagement. You guys wrote in on Instagram some questions that you have about it still. And yeah, he proposed to me in Italy like a week and a half ago. So we have so much to talk about. It's gonna be so good. I'm still not used to this. This is weird. And weird, I keep saying weird, but weird like in the best way possible. Or it's just Max is saying in podcasts we recorded. It's unfamiliar. It's just new, you know, so it's so exciting. But before we get into the Q&A, I just want to shout out the sponsor of this video. Thank you so much, Casetify, for sponsoring this video. You guys know my most favorite phone case. I'm going to be reading all our questions. My phone right here. So they're so slim while being so protective. When I first heard about Casetify, that is what drew me to their phone cases, because I'm very clumsy. I drop my phone all the time, so I need something that's protected, but I also want it cute. So that's why Casetify phone cases are the best. Specifically, the impact case has always been my favorite style since the design of it is so sleek. They have so many different prints to choose from. I love this floral one. This has been my favorite this summer because it has this like suction cup mount on the back, and I've been in my TikToking era. But I also grabbed these other prints to show you guys designs. They have so many prints and designs to choose from, like I said, collaborations with artists. I love the Olivia Rodrigo one, and you can literally see without a phone in it. Look how slim these are. And what's crazy is they actually have up to 11.5 feet drop protection. Also made up 65% recycled and plant-based materials. You guys know my other favorite I've been doing this summer a bunch is the same impact style, but it's my initials all over the back, which I love. And now I'm realizing one day I'll have to get initials that'll say GW instead of GG, which is so weird, but I'll always be GG deep down in my heart, you know. But I can insert like footage of that one so you guys can see. I think it's in my purse somewhere. I don't even know where it is because I've been like going back and forth between this one and that one. So you can customize it so many ways with your initials, your name, pictures. So I'll have Casetify link down below if you guys are interested. If you've always wanted to try one of their phone cases, now could be such a good time. So casetify.com/Gretchen will get you 15% off. casetify.com/Gretchen for 15% off. And now let's get into the video.
And we're all here.
Now that we're all settled, I thought we could start with a brief synopsis of the proposal. If you don't know, I have a podcast, Happy Hour Podcast. I actually feel like I got a DM the other day being like, I didn't even know you had a podcast. You never talk about it on your YouTube channel. How's I supposed to know?
Yeah,
and I was like, oh gosh, I just like assume everyone knows. Happy Hour Podcast. We talked for an hour, basically giving in depth the entire proposal story.
Yeah, and the lead up, the planning of going there. Yeah.
But that is like obviously the number one thing if you guys haven't listened to that. So let's do like a brief synopsis. Yeah. Ready, set, go.
Okay, so I pretty much spent most of the summer preparing and planning this trip to Italy, and I had some help along the way from a travel agent, and so we had this plan going into it. Obviously going to Italy, what a great spot to do a proposal and get engaged over there. So we were planning on doing that, and which was funny, we originally tried doing it at a different location, and then they weren't able to like accommodate us, so she actually suggested this new location, the Villa San Michele.
Yeah, we keep saying San Michele, but we don't know.
In Florence, and it was a no-brainer when she sent it to me and was like, they have like an opening this day, like we need to like lock it in now so they don't like give it up. So we did, and it was perfect, honestly. And so then we spent the next like couple probably like a week or two going back and forth, kind of locking in the details of everything with the florist and the photographers, and just kind of my vision of what I had when of how I wanted us to kind of arrive and when we showed up, and how everything would kind of go. I kind of just had it in my head. So I had some obviously help from her to communicate those kind of thoughts and visions to their contact in Italy beforehand. So yeah, there you go. Quick.
That's the planning.
Yeah.
You did so good. Everyone was so impressed how he was able to coordinate everything from so far away. And it seems like the travel agent was like the number one help, like the biggest
Yeah, definitely.
helper.
Yeah, she was like my middleman, and where I would kind of relay things to her, and then she would, you know, contact the florist or the photographer or the hotel and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, everything
There
was
you go.
perfect. It was like such a beautiful spot. If you guys go to Florence, you really should go. Even if it's just like for dinner, like what we did, like got engaged, had dinner. Or if you can stay there, maybe we'll stay there one day because it was really, really cool. I guess anything else? You guys know, I need to find a clip from an old YouTube video. I always said that I wanted to get proposed to in Italy one day. So it's funny because I feel like people are like saying so many things like, did you know? Are you mad you knew? Like, we all knew. Did you know? Because of all the comments and stuff. And I'm like, well, I think we got all those comments because when we said Max surprised me with the trip to Italy, it could have been anywhere. And it could have been like, you're getting engaged if you're getting surprised with the trip.
Yeah.
Almost 5 years into dating.
Yeah.
But I had said in the past, I do want to get proposed to in Italy one day. So when Max surprised me with the trip, of course I'm thinking that.
But you've also said too, many of times, like it does not have to be in Italy. Like it can be literally anywhere.
I'm like, I was just saying that
But
when
I
I was
thought-
20.
I thought it would be a great spot.
Yeah.
And I've never been, so I wanted to go too. So selfishly.
Yeah, Max said earlier in the summer when he was like swaying back and forth, he's like, because I made it very clear, like I said, like I always said this, but like clearly we live in the most beautiful place on Cape Cod. I'm like, it could be here. That would be perfect. It could literally be Newport. It could be anywhere. Like I wanted him to be part of it too. But yeah, he said he was like going back and forth, like, do I just do it here? Do like, okay, let's do the damn thing.
Yeah.
Let's go to Italy. So
Yeah. So we did. And it was great.
it was perfect.
Yeah.
We have to just get into the questions to prompt because I feel like we can just say stuff, but people are like, but what about this? What about
Yeah,
that?
I'm sure the question.
So it's like the brief synopsis. It was like halfway through our trip in Italy. Did you know you wanted like a specific time or where in Italy you wanted? Did you know you wanted Florence? Like, halfway through?
Yeah, in Florence. And then that's just kind of how it worked out with flying into Rome and then also trying to do like Positano and the Amalfi Coast. It only made sense to do Florence in the middle of that. So,
How did you know you wanted Florence and not Positano?
because you love Florence.
I do.
Yeah. And I thought that was the most, like, beautiful.
Yeah. It was so good. And the fact that we got to do like San Gimignano and Tuscany the day before, it was so special. The wine was like so good. El Choice, by the way, if you guys go, you should go. Okay, brief synopsis. Yeah, so did I know? People are like, was I waiting the whole trip? Would I rather have not known? Which I didn't really know. Like I say this in the podcast, of course I'm just like assuming. Also, we had gone ring shopping multiple times, so that's like, okay, like I know it's gonna come probably in the next like year or so, but I don't know exactly when. I wasn't like waiting the whole trip. I figured it would come at some point, but I had no idea when during the trip at all. So I'm like, let's see what Max is wearing something fancy and I'll match the vibe, which is exactly what happened. He put on this new suit I had never seen, and I was like,
kind of a dead giveaway. But yeah.
And like, would I have rather not known? Like, I feel like no, because
But it was obviously still a surprise to where we were and you know how it all.
I didn't know when, I didn't know where, I didn't know how. We picked out the ring together, so I knew.
I
my
feel
ring
like
was
when
gonna
you're in
look.
I feel like I've said this before, but I didn't feel like when you're in a relationship for as long as we have been, you have talks about the next step. So I feel like it's not a complete shock to people, you know?
Yeah. I know. I think that's such a thing. People were like, did you know? Oh my gosh, you shouldn't have known. You should be so surprised. But then in reality, every girl that's like, get ready with me. I think I'm going to get engaged today. I have a weird feeling. Everyone's like, how come your nails are perfect? It's like, I would think if you've been with your partner that long, that you catch a vibe. You have a lot of conversations. Maybe you went ring shopping. Maybe you didn't. But if you...
And obviously you tell like their friends and stuff, and then the friends kind of help, like, oh, let's get our nails done. Like, you know, it's not like me just be like, get your nails done, like, you know.
I know. So I just feel like girls, always, like, people are so funny that, like, are engaged being like, what, did you know? You should have known. But I feel like if you are engaged or married, you're like, okay, well, you get the vibe. Like, everyone like gets the vibe if you're aware.
Yeah.
And we say you shouldn't be like shocked. That doesn't seem like a good thing. If you're like, what? This is out of left field. Like, I was not on the same page.
Right.
Yeah. One, I thought would be good for clarification. Not two. You guys have been very nice. Only like a little bit of hate of people being like, you planned this whole trip. I know it. Did you force Max into this? Did you feel forced?
No, not at all. And you didn't plan anything. So I planned all of it.
Yes.
Obviously with help, but you were not included in any of that.
No, it was killing
planning. Me. And I didn't even tell her what or where we were going until like the day before. So it'd be like, okay, like tomorrow we're actually moving cities, so like start packing, like but like beforehand you had no idea what we were doing or any of the tours or any of the restaurants or whatever. So
I only knew we were starting in Rome because that was the flight, and I just felt like we weren't going to Florence. I don't know why. I just didn't even,
you kept saying like, are we going to Venice? Are we going to Venice? And I was like, no, no, we're not. But
I'm happy it was Florence, obviously. Yeah, I think people are just. It was like unbelievable that you like did this whole trip and surprised me with it. So when I'm saying that, people are like, you definitely helped. Like they just like didn't even believe it. But I'm like, okay.
No, I had many car rides this summer going to the rink and to the gym where I was talking on the phone the entire time with like the travel agent and whatever. So
I had no freaking idea.
A lot of planning.
Because that's what I was saying too. I'm like, I'm so shocked by all of this because where have I been? When you're home with me, you're like chilling, we're like walking Brody, we're like cooking dinner. You're never like sneaking off on phone calls and like emails and like I never saw any of it, so that's why it was all so crazy to me. And now I thought we could say an update since the podcast. We had this was shocking to me. We had another surprise.
Yes.
A surprise engagement party.
Yes.
On Saturday.
That you also had no idea about or any planning.
Like I caught a vibe like, okay, we're probably gonna get engaged in Italy, right? I had no idea about this party. Zero idea.
Yeah, you didn't know when. You knew we would have a party, and I think your gut was like, oh, it's gonna be at like Tugboats, it's like gonna be at like the restaurant. But then the morning of, when like tables and chairs were getting delivered, you were like, getting the hint.
But I had no idea when. I thought it would be like in the coming weeks. And I was saying to you and Taylor, I'm like, you guys are acting weird towards me. There's like something fishy going on. But I really had zero idea. I didn't think it would be that quick. That was September, I don't know, second. Yeah. No idea. And yeah, the most shocked I was, my mom had showed up Friday night. And we had got back from a wedding. Yeah. It's in a whirlwind. We got back from Italy. Next day I was surprised, engagement photo shoot at the beach with Brody. Then the next day, Max had a wedding, so we had rehearsal dinner. And then after that wedding, get back from the wedding, my mom's here. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing here?
Surprise visit.
I was shocked. And she was just like, I had to come see you. And I was like, okay. Literally thought nothing of it. Thought she was just visiting. Saturday morning.
Tables
show up, and I'm like, what is going on? That's when I'm like, okay, clearly something's happening here. But I had no idea.
We came back from coffee and was just sitting in the living room. And then your cousin, Mandy, showed up.
That was the best surprise of them all. I like cried because she hadn't been able to come all summer, and she walked in the door with her, like my aunt, my uncle, her brother, my other cousin, and I was just like, ah!
Yeah.
And they freaking took the boat from Long Island.
Yeah, like, which is crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. All our favorite people, friends and family, were here.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was tiring to hear.
That was
just a lot of talking.
Yeah.
That was literally the best night ever, and I need to share more from it. And I'm gonna have like, because I was not filming, I did not know where my phone was all night. I was just trying to be so present. But his sister has been literally about shout out Chase and my friend Taylor, my friend Hannah. They went like above and beyond with you, planning everything.
Big party planners,
Like they're also creative.
Yeah.
Chase was like,
Chase is very good at party
planning.
So
good. Yeah. She's like balloon arch, ice luge, napkins, confetti, like flowers everywhere. Like it was incredible. And so she was filming some on my camera, which is so sweet. So I'll have some like behind the scenes of that soon. And I think she actually also filming when we were taking engagement photos, so we'll have that coming soon. But yeah, that happened after we filmed the podcast.
That was a very big team effort with the party with Taylor and Chase and Hannah and everyone else.
I felt like I was gonna say something weird. I felt like Rapunzel banished to my castle, and they're like, "Don't come out." And I would like peek outside, and it was like 20 of you running around setting up things. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many people were here total? Did we even like count or no?
No, I think it was like close to like 50.
Oh really?
Maybe.
I was gonna say 30, maybe 40.
Maybe 40. Yeah.
It was literally the best night ever. So that was that. Okay, will Brody be in the wedding? Someone wants to know. Getting into the questions here.
Maybe he'll make a surprise visit and then go back home.
But have you seen those videos? He could be like a ring bearer.
Yeah.
He's really well trained in his little tux costume.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. He's right here.
He's right there. I think he will have a part.
Yeah.
For sure. Next up, they want to know, will we hire a wedding planner?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like probably. This is fun because we haven't talked about this yet, so we get to talk about it together.
I would assume so.
See if we're on the same page.
I feel like that's just what you do.
Yeah.
Or
it would be all on us, and we would just be more stressed. I feel like.
And they'll have all the contacts of, you know, we want the flowers and, you know.
Yeah. Like, take this with a grain of salt because I don't know what I'm talking about. Obviously, we're new to this. But my gut instinct is that if you don't have a wedding planner, we would be the wedding planner the day of, along with being the bride and the groom. So it's just like a little bit more stressful. We have been to weddings where like the bride and groom have done everything, and they've done an incredible job. Like this time, like you'd have no idea, but I just feel like they have like that added level of stress the day of to make sure everything's like going to plan. So we probably will at some point.
I feel like we will.
Yeah, but we've been in no rush to get into any of that, and I'm so happy that I got invited. Literally 3 of my friends texted me the same thing, all that are engaged, and they were like, the best advice we can give you is don't even talk about your wedding for a whole month. Like, literally just have fun being engaged and like don't stress yet. And it's so weird how many people the second you get engaged, like neighbors and stuff that they don't know, run up to me, they're like, when's your date?
Yeah.
What's the date? I'm like, what?
Like it happened like 2 days ago.
I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm not even used to this thing yet. Like, we do not have a date. We don't know. So yes, probably a wedding planner. Where did you keep the ring? They want to know.
So I kept it.
Did we talk about this on the podcast?
I feel like, maybe a little bit. So it came in like a FedEx box, which is funny. But it was in the FedEx box, and then I just kept it in like an old carry-on suitcase that neither of us use anymore, because when we got it, the first time I took it as a carry-on, they're like, this is too big to be a carry-on, so we like never use it.
Here.
We just use it for like moving purposes and like putting clothes in it when we're driving somewhere. So it was in there pretty much the entire time, in our like garage in Allentown, in our garage here when we moved. Like that was like one thing in my car that like we drove with instead of like on the moving truck like that, and then in the garage here pretty much.
Had it in the freaking garage.
Yeah, we had a couple scares. One night left the garage door open, but no one would have known.
I think there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
They would have to really look.
It wasn't just like one suitcase in the garage. Yeah. But yeah.
Can you guys believe in the freaking suitcase in the garage? And I was so certain, because his mom is not that far away. I'm like, obviously he's not even gonna put it in his house, but if I can find it, like it's obviously at her house. I didn't even think.
Yeah.
It was here in the garage. When did you know that you wanted to marry me? And people were saying like, when did we know that each other was the one?
Yeah. I don't know if there's like a specific moment. I feel like early on I was getting the feeling of like I don't want to be with anyone else, and like I couldn't imagine doing the things like we were doing together with someone else. It probably felt more real when we like moved in together And we're like, I don't think I could do this with like anyone else, you
In
know?
Pennsylvania or here?
In Pennsylvania. Yeah. Like our first time moving like together and living together and having our own place without like Taylor as a roommate or like, you know.
Our parents close by,
Yeah, so I feel like fairly early, and yeah, just that feeling of like being with your best friend like all the time. You don't want to, I don't know, ever be with anyone else. So
it's our future together.
Yeah, of course.
I know. I feel like people always ask like, how did you know they were the one? Is there like a specific moment? And I feel like sometimes maybe. Or you have glimpses of like, oh my gosh, I feel like this is like my person. And so I don't want to like make it sad, but I think that very early on, like we were only dating for like 5 months, 6 months maybe, and we both lost very close family members to us. And like being together in that time, it's like, okay, wow, this person is like my rock, and is like sticking around in the hard times. So that's why I was like, okay. But there, obviously, there's been so many things. And we talked about that in Q&As in the past of like, how do this person was the one. So those are probably like better to refer to because I feel like we've all said it before. Like they make you feel like a better person. They like push you and challenge you, and you just have fun together. Each other's besties. Max, did you always plan to propose after we bought a house?
No, I don't think so. I feel like the house kind of came pretty quick and all of a sudden, I feel like I wanted it to happen this summer. I felt like this was a good summer to have, even if we were at like my parents' house or like if we rented a place in Boston or down here or something. I feel like it would have been this summer anyway. I just thought it was like a good time. And now, it worked out even better now that we have the house, and we were able to have the party here at the house, and
that's like a dream.
This summer's just been jam-packed with so many exciting things. It's been a lot of fun.
I know, it's gone by so quick. I don't want it to be over, but I know, and I feel bad for you because I feel like people were like pressuring you even more since we got a house together. They're like, where is the ring? And it's like, okay, well that's always been like coming in the works. But like the house just happened quickly. So here we are. But and like so we had always talked about like, oh, probably like this summer would be a good time, like a year and a half ago. So when people were like, oh, did you know that? I'm like, okay, well I had a good idea, but whatever. Did I help pick the ring out, and did you mind?
You definitely had your inputs and Instagram pictures being sent to me. But then, when we were there, we looked at a bunch of different ones, and you had your input on all of the different ones and kind of what you liked and what you didn't like. And
but did you mind? Like, would you have rather totally surprised me I didn't even go with you?
No, I don't think so.
Or you like
I feel like
together?
That's something you're gonna want to look at every day and love. So if I just went out of the blue and got you something you didn't like, then that would have been no good.
I'm sure the people that don't go ring shopping, the guy's probably way more nervous proposing because not only are they like nervous proposing, but they're probably like, you know, she likes it.
But honestly, it probably would have been something similar.
Even if we didn't go together.
Like I like the oval shaped. I probably didn't know about the hidden halo before you started sending me stuff, and but then I knew that was going to be in there. I think the only thing I would have changed probably would have been the pave.
Yeah, he liked the diamonds on the band, and I just like the plain. But
now that I've seen this has grown on me, and I love this way better.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
And I feel like
the other diamonds take away from the
big main one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved that too. Even if you got that one, I would have loved it all the same. But I'm sure you would have came up with something similar too, because I would have sent so many pictures to like your sister, my sister, and you could have just asked them, and you would have just done it. But it was so fun to like be a part of the process. So I think people, and I think that's more of like a modern thing. I would say that you go ring shopping together, and
especially since it was at a place that you've kind of been a fan of and always liked following their stuff. So the whole experience was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would have felt not sad, but I would have just felt
Like if I went there by myself.
Yeah, I would have been like, oh, I wish I got to go, you know,
yeah.
because I followed her concierge forever and love them. Why don't I show you if you haven't seen her? There she is, oval, solitaire, gold, skinny band, like a little bit thicker than her whisper thin. I don't know if it's focusing. Hidden halo. There she is. There we go. We love. I feel like I've been touching my hair this whole video and I feel like it's just not cooperating, so sorry. Okay, last couple questions. What was the hardest part about keeping it a secret?
The trip or everything?
Engagement a secret? What was the hardest part?
Well, trying to find the right time to tell you when we were going to Italy, I think, was hard because I'm like, I know you're gonna wanna either buy new outfits and stuff, so I tried to give you enough time, but I also didn't want you like freaking out the whole summer. Like if I told you at the beginning of summer that we're going to Italy, then yeah, I thought it was more fun to hold off as long as possible.
It was perfect time to order stuff in time.
Yeah, so that was
like it was like a week and a half before we went.
Yeah, I don't think it was hard.
Secret to keep.
Yeah.
And also because he told a lot of our friends and family, which we had talked about for a very long time, that we wanted, like, or I said to you, like, I want my closest friends and family to know, to feel a part of it.
Yeah.
Because that would just be fun. And so I'm happy that he told some of our friends and family. And so then it didn't even feel like that much of a secret. Like you could have talked about it with them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just shocked that nobody told me, especially about the party.
Yeah, I definitely held off on telling some of your closest friends until the very end because, you know, had to poke and prod and dig at them and they might have spilled the beans, so.
Yeah, my friends I talked to the most, he told the last minute, he's like, you talk to them too much. When did we first talk about being ready for an engagement?
I don't know. Probably like, what, a year ago? Like,
okay.
Maybe more, so?
I think it was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember the moment we had a conversation in the car. It was December of 2021.
Yeah.
About to be 2022.
The December before last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We started talking about it. And then that summer, we did a little ring shopping.
When we were in Boston.
And then, yeah, kind of, I don't know, kept the talks going a little bit. And then, when did we go again? The following December. So this past December, right?
February.
Oh, February. Yeah.
I've been surprised way too much. There's too many surprises because I was surprised with that too. We were going to New York, and right before New York, Max was like,
"Oh yeah,
hey, surprise! I made an appointment at Ring Concierge." And I was like, "Wow!"
Yeah,
I was so excited.
I did that.
You did. I've been surprised way too much, but it's been great. But I remember that December was when we were like, because I feel like we at that point we're together like 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah.
But I think people are always asking us whatever, like it's like swirling around, and we're always just like, oh, we're not ready for that, we're like in no rush, whatever. But I think that was the moment that we were like, okay, let's like be on the same page here. Like, what are we actually thinking? Like, do we want to go ring shopping? When is that gonna happen? And you were like, okay, I was thinking like this coming summer, and I was like, whoa. And so we went in Boston.
Yeah.
And you told, I've been surprised so much. I don't know if that was a surprise, but you just told me like it was like last July. You were like, I was thinking we could like ring shopping tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I was like, yes.
Yeah, so that was fun. It was a whole other experience, but yeah.
Yeah, because I never wanted to like push him and be like, let's go, come on, like naggy, annoying. I'm like, I'm over here, cool as a cucumber.
And ready to go whenever.
Ready to go, you lead the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, perfect. And that was great, but then obviously I just followed my concierge forever and like always wanted to go there. That was like a dream, so then that was really fun and a great experience and everything. Last question. Could you talk about telling our family and friends and maybe their reactions when you told them? And I know we already talked about my mom on the podcast, and really talk about that because I thought it was so sweet of you to like include my dad in a way. And
so when I obviously would have asked your dad for his blessing, but it was the first time your mom came to visit, And I don't know where I think you and Taylor were somewhere. And then, or you guys were still here, but your mom was like, oh, I'm going to take Teddy for a walk. And I'm like, oh, I'll take Brody for a walk too with you. Mm-hmm. And we were like walking the dogs. But then I got like too nervous. And so we just like walked the dogs. I was like planning on doing it then.
Your heart's like beating.
Yeah, but I was like so nervous. So I didn't do it then. So we got back to the house and then you and Taylor went somewhere, and I think your mom was just like doing work downstairs, and then I went like upstairs.
Oh, I don't think I realized it was the same day.
Yeah, it was like right after. Yeah.
Okay.
So then I kind of went upstairs and like gathered my thoughts, and then went back downstairs, and you guys were gone. And I was just like Heidi, like, do you have like a second to chat? Like it's been so much fun having you down here, and obviously like I wish like Dan was here too, and you know, I would have loved to ask for his blessing, but I would love to have your blessing in marrying your daughter, and then we like both like started crying and like had like a embrace, and I let her in on my plan. I was like, I have something in the works. I didn't give her the full details because I was still kind of ironing it out, but
yeah, like that's really June, like that was so long ago.
So I was like, there's something in the works. I can fill you in later, but yeah. And then she got a sneak peek of the ring too. So
was she one of the only people that saw it? Maybe your family too.
Yeah, some of my family.
My sister didn't.
Yeah, no.
Or Taylor.
No. Yeah, I think her, and then like my mom and Chase, and yeah.
And he had the ring since freaking April, you guys.
Yeah.
We didn't even say that. He's been ring shopping in February.
I picked it up the same day that the offer on the house got accepted.
Isn't that crazy?
Which is pretty funny.
That seems like a good omen or something. Oh, and it was also my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
And I was flying to Coachella that day.
Yeah.
There was a lot happening that one day.
Yeah. We were still in Allentown.
Oh, yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, duh, because we didn't move here yet because the offer just goes to the house. And we closed like a month later. How crazy. Okay, but like, I don't even think I've heard like when you told like Taylor or Lucy or Hannah or Mandy, like, or did you just text them?
Yeah. So so I was just like, I
gotta see these texts.
Well, I think I was just like, I don't even know what I can't keep it all straight with everyone.
Yeah.
But I feel like I kept the Italy trip, I think, a surprise from like all of them. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, we're working on like a party when we get back from like a little trip, like so then they were kind of getting the hint and the gist of what was happening. So
because little did I know, the whole time you were planning for Italy and a proposal, you were simultaneously planning for an engagement party when you got back.
Yeah.
Holy mother.
Yeah.
How are you not so overwhelmed? I would have had like panic attacks if it was like the girl had to propose to the guy and I had to do all that. I would have been freaking out. Like I could not have done as good of a job as you did.
Yeah, it was a little stressful coordinating everything, but
I did not see the stress at all.
But it was good. Had a lot of help.
Oh, it's literally been the best time ever. I'm gonna have like post-engagement blues. I'm gonna be like, now what? Like I want our family and friends here every day celebrating and like, you know.
Yeah.
It's been so fun.
Yeah.
Do you feel any different being engaged?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like a little.
Yeah.
It's just weird when I look down and I'm like, this is that.
Yeah.
Not mine, I'm just a child. Everyone says that when they're like in their like late 20s when they get engaged and they're like, whoa, this is we're getting used to it. They're like, I'm like a child bride. And I'm like, you literally are such a normal age to like get married. I feel like I'm 18, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll feel more, not real, but like more like intense when we start actually like planning stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
I am like not ready for that. And there were questions that I omitted, like wedding venue, dream wedding venue, stuff like that. And I just feel like we'll have more talks about that in the future. And I feel like we both are on the same page that we probably want a wedding like summer of 2025. We'll just say that, which would be probably a little under like a 2-year engagement.
Yeah.
which would be great to have plenty of time to plan, no stress. Yeah.
And maybe on the Cape.
Yeah, that's like also what we're thinking.
Yeah.
So I guess we answer that dream wedding, it would probably just be like somewhere on the Cape because we love it here.
Yeah.
We'll just do it in our backyard again.
How was that?
Have everyone stay here.
That was pretty good.
Great.
Pretty good Q&A there.
I feel like there's still so much more to say.
Well, there's so much more on your podcast too. So
Yeah, you guys should listen to that. And
hopefully I did good explaining everything.
you did great,
Yeah.
Lens.
Great. Alrighty.
Love you guys.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.
See ya.
Bye.